Introduction: The Hidden Layers of Reality. Have you ever felt that life is not as simple as it seems on the surface? That there is something deeper, something hidden beneath the daily routines, the struggles, the victories, and even the failures? From the moment we wake up, most of us move through life as if it's already written, as if reality is a fixed stage where we are just actors playing out predetermined roles. We assume that everything around us is solid, permanent, and predictable. But what if reality is not as rigid as it looks? What if the world you see is not the final truth, but a moving, shifting dance of energy that actually responds to your awareness? Today, we will explore this mystery. We will journey through the quantum mirror, the observer effect, the power of visualization, the illusion of reality, and finally, the awakening. The moment where you begin to realize you were free all along. Take a deep breath, relax your mind, and let's step into this journey together. Part 1. The Quantum Mirror, Energy's Hidden Dance. Everything in our universe is made of energy. What looks like solid matter is, at the deepest level, vibrations of particles moving in patterns so subtle that even scientists are still trying to fully understand them. In the strange world of quantum physics, researchers discovered something astonishing. Just by observing particles, their behavior changes. In other words, the act of watching changes what is being watched. Think about throwing a ball in our everyday world. If you know the force and the direction, you can predict where it will land. But in the quantum world, the ball doesn't just have one path. It exists in many possibilities at once, until someone observes it. The moment it is observed, it chooses one outcome. This phenomenon is sometimes called the quantum mirror. It teaches us that we are not simply watching reality unfold, we are part of its dance. Imagine standing before a great mirror that reflects not just your body, but your energy, your thoughts, your intentions. This mirror doesn't show you a fixed reflection. It shifts and changes depending on how you look at it, depending on where your awareness is. The lesson is profound. We are not outside reality, controlling it like puppeteers. We are inside it. We are woven into the same energy web that we are trying to shape. Some people who work with energy have learned to stop fighting this strange effect. Instead, they work with it. They understand that sometimes the best way to direct energy is not to push and force, but to step back and let it flow naturally, like water finding its own path downhill. And when we look deeply into this mirror, we also begin to see something about time. Time doesn't just move forward like an arrow. In the mirror of energy, time spreads out like ripples in a pond, past, present, and future dancing together in interconnected webs. Instead of chaos, we sometimes find surprising order. Patterns repeat themselves, like fractals in nature, where a tree branch looks like a smaller version of the whole tree, or a cloud forms shapes that echo across different scales. These patterns whisper that even when life seems random, hidden rules may be guiding the flow. The quantum mirror is not something you can buy or build. It is a way of seeing reality. And every time you observe, measure, or try to change energy, you are looking into it. And what you see staring back is not just energy, it is yourself, connected to everything else. Part 2. The Observer Effect. Awareness changes reality. Now, let's step deeper into this truth. Have you ever noticed how a child behaves when they are playing alone? They are free, spontaneous, unself-conscious. They laugh, they sing, they dance with no care in the world. But the moment they realize someone is watching them, everything changes. They become self-conscious. They either hide or they perform differently. This is the observer effect in action. It doesn't only apply to children, it applies to us, to our emotions, and even to our thoughts. Imagine you are deeply angry. In that moment, you are consumed by the fire of the emotion. But the instant you step back and notice, I am feeling angry, something changes. The anger may not vanish, but you are no longer fully inside it. A little gap opens. That gap is freedom. The same thing happens with anxiety, fear, or even joy. The simple act of noticing changes the experience. Scientists found the same thing when they studied particles. Measure the particle's position, and its speed changes. Measure the speed, and the position changes. You cannot separate the observer from the observed. In daily life, this means awareness is not passive, it is active. The very act of observing changes what you observe. Think of your breathing. Right now, as I mention it, you are suddenly aware of it. It shifts. The rhythm changes. Think of your posture. The moment you pay attention, you adjust it. This is the incredible gift of awareness. It transforms. But here's the secret. The goal is not to observe with judgment, but with curiosity, like a scientist collecting data. No labels, no criticism, just presence. If you can observe your patterns, the way you react, the way you think, the way you feel without judgment, natural change begins to occur. Sometimes it is subtle, like a gentle relaxation of the shoulders. Other times it is dramatic, like a complete shift in how you live. This is how awareness becomes the tool for transformation.
Part 3. Visualization, the inner movie projector. Now let's look at another incredible power of the mind, visualization. Your mind is like a cinema hall, constantly playing movies. These mental movies shape how you feel, how you act, and what results you create in your life. Picture yourself walking into a room full of people. In one movie, you see yourself as awkward, nervous, out of place. Your heart races, your muscles tighten, and you start to shrink inside, even before anything has happened. Now rewind. Play a different movie. You walk in calmly, confidently. You connect with people. You smile. The conversations flow naturally. Instantly, your body relaxes. Your energy shifts. This is the power of mental movies. Most of the time, these movies run automatically. They are built from past experiences, childhood beliefs, and the voices of others. But here's the miracle. You can become the director. Athletes use visualization to rehearse their performance. Research shows the brain responds almost the same way to imagined practice as it does to real practice. Musicians rehearse in their minds. Speakers visualize their delivery. The brain doesn't fully know the difference between a vividly imagined event and a real one. So ask yourself, what movies are you playing every day? Are they strengthening you or weakening you? The trick is not to force positive thinking all the time. That's unrealistic. Instead, become aware of the movies and consciously choose which ones to play. When you catch yourself in a negative projection, stop, take a breath, create a new movie, one where you are calm, one where you succeed, one where you flow naturally. And remember, the more real you make it in your mind, the more your energy begins to align with it in the outside world. Part 4. Reality as an illusion. But there is a deeper layer we must face. What we call reality is itself an illusion, not in the sense that it doesn't exist, but in the sense that it is not what it appears to be. When you see a tree, your eyes are not seeing the tree directly. They are receiving patterns of light. Your brain processes that data and creates an image. So what you experience as tree is actually your brain's construction. In fact, two people can look at the same situation and experience two different realities. Someone doesn't wave back to you. One person interprets it as an insult. Another assumes the person was simply distracted. Same event, two realities. This illusion works at many levels.
Personal illusions, stories we tell ourselves. I am not good enough. I am unlucky. I cannot handle stress. Social illusions, the curated perfection we see on social media, which hides the struggles behind the scenes. Cultural illusions, systems of belief like money, rules, and even time. Money is paper, yet it controls lives. Time feels linear, yet science shows it may not be as rigid. These illusions are not inherently bad. They help us function, survive, and create order. The danger comes when we mistake them for ultimate truth. The moment you become aware of the illusion, you gain power. You realize that reality is not fixed, it is flexible. And you are not a prisoner of the story, you are the storyteller. Part 5. Awakening. Born free. Now comes the awakening. From childhood, most of us are conditioned. We are told what to believe, what to value, and what to fear. We learn to follow rules, to comply, to stay within the system. But sooner or later, something inside whispers, "Is this all there is?" Awakening begins with a question. It is often uncomfortable because it challenges everything we thought was stable. It can feel like the ground beneath our feet is shaking, but it is also liberating. Awakening is the realization that we were never truly bound. We were born free. The chains were mostly in our minds. This freedom comes with responsibility. Once you awaken, you can no longer fully blame others for your life. You see that your thoughts, your choices, and your awareness play a role in shaping your reality. Awakening can arrive suddenly, like lightning, or slowly, like the rising sun. But once it begins, you cannot unsee it. And something magical happens. As you awaken, you begin to attract experiences, teachers, and relationships that support your growth. The universe aligns to meet you at the level of your new awareness. Awakening is not a final destination. It is an ongoing journey, a continuous unfolding. Each moment an opportunity to see more deeply, to live more consciously, to express more freely. So, what have we discovered today? That the universe is a quantum mirror, reflecting not just energy, but ourselves. That awareness, the observer effect, has the power to transform reality. That visualization allows us to direct the movies of our mind and shape our outer world. That much of what we call reality is illusion, and awakening is the key to stepping beyond it. The journey of awareness changes everything. You stop thinking of yourself as a powerless spectator. You begin to see yourself as part of the current, like a leaf in the river of energy. You cannot control everything, but you can learn to flow, to guide, to align. So the next time you want to change something in your life, don't force it. Begin by observing. Pay attention. Notice the patterns. Then, consciously choose what movie you play in your mind. And remember, You are not just watching the dance of energy, you are dancing too. If this message resonates with you, write in the comments, "I am awake," to declare it, to affirm it, and to share it with the universe. Because the moment you awaken, the dance truly begins.